Hey fam, did you know that in the 2020 elections, black voter turnout hit a whopping 60%? That's huge. It shows how much we know these elections matter for our community. But let's keep it real. Today we're getting into why Kamala Harris is the better choice than Donald Trump for black voters. First off, let's break it down. Both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump have been big players in American politics. But when it comes to us, their policies couldn't be more different. We've been dealing with everything from racial inequality to voter suppression, so it's crucial to understand where these two stand on those issues. Now let's talk about what happened under Trump. We saw a spike in voter suppression tactics targeting our community, strict voter ID laws in 22 states, purging of voter rolls, all designed to keep us from showing up at the polls. In fact, during Trump's presidency, reports showed that 17 million voters were purged from rolls between 2016 and 2018, with black and brown communities hit the hardest. On top of that, racial inequality got worse. From police brutality to systemic racism, we've been front and center in these fights, and Trump didn't just ignore our struggles. Many of us feel like he fueled the fire. He actually wanted to shoot protesters in the legs. His administration saw a 22% increase in hate crimes against black folks between 2016 and 2020. These are real challenges we've had to navigate, and they're crucial when we think about who's got our back. Now let's talk Kamala Harris. Sis has been pushing for real change, especially with criminal justice reform. She's been all about tearing down systemic racism in policing and the courts, and that's a big deal for our community. Her platform also focuses on economic empowerment. She's about making sure black folks have access to capital for our businesses and pushing fair housing policies. And it's not just talk. Harris has proposed the LIFT Act, which would give working families up to $3,000 a year, money, $25,000 for new home buyers, increasing the child credit. These are real policies that could change lives in our neighborhoods. She's also supported the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act, aimed at holding police accountable and stopping racial profiling. Her commitment to us is clear. Let's not forget the contrast between these two when it comes to handling issues that hit us the hardest. Remember how Trump dealt with the protests after George Floyd was murdered? Instead of listening to our pain, he called for more cops to crack down on protesters. Compare that to Kamala Harris, who stood with us, calling for justice and equity. She's consistently been on the front lines, pushing for a fairer system. This difference in approach shows Harris's dedication to lifting up black voters, while Trump's actions often left us out in the cold. Looking at the bigger picture, Kamala Harris is about moving us toward a more inclusive and fair future. Her focus on criminal justice reform, economic empowerment, and policies that support our community shows she's serious about tackling the issues we've been dealing with for too long. On the other hand, Trump's time in office often made these problems worse, which is why it's clear Harris is the better choice for us. Thanks for hanging with me today. I want to hear your thoughts. Do you agree or disagree? Drop your comments below. And if you're interested in learning more about how political policies affect our community, check out my other videos. See y'all next time.
Support the channel, subscribe, like, comment, and share.